Hello and welcome to It's All About You, the best show about you on the internet. I am B. Dave Walters, life, relationships, and spiritual coach. This is episode number 60, catching up. And wow, it has been a while since we last talked. When I shot episode 59, if you saw it, I was out on the tour bus. I don't even know what state I was in, what city I was in, but I'm back home now, at least for a little while, until I go back out on the road again. So I'm sorry it's been a while since we've talked, but we're talking now. So how are you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's been going on with you? Mm-hmm. Work good? Family good? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Well, it's good to be back talking again. And I gotta say, there's a lot of reasons why I haven't done a video before now. Because I've actually been home for a little while. Got a little burned out for a little while. I have to admit, we're friends. I can tell you that. It happened. Just the pace of everything kind of got to me for a little while. And I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to talk about. And I gotta tell you, I'm still not sure what I want to talk about. So, in the spirit of the way that I used to do things, I figured I'd just turn on the camera, start up the stopwatch, let's see where we end up going. So we'll just talk for a little while. You may notice my super cool t-shirt. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm giving a little free advertising to some friends of mine, guys in a band called Taddy Porter, Taddy Porter. Taddy Porter. They're awesome. If you like Southern rock type vibe, they're one of the bands I was out on tour with. They're great guys, great music. Check them out. The other thing is I got the coolest thing in the world that I have to show you, even though you've seen all my junk rattling around here, is this right here. It's the 5 Gospels. This was by a group of scholars called the Jesus Seminar. And it's about 150 people, men and women, that got together, and by a process of voting and some other thing that they outline in here, they did a whole different translation of the 5 Gospels, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Thomas. And it is fantastic. Like any translation, it's got its critics. Anytime, especially if you speak 2 languages, anytime you try and translate something, there's going to be some difficulties, some loss there. But I think it's phenomenal. I love it. It's a really great insight into what Jesus Christ may or may not have said, what he may or may not have been like. Highly recommended. Check it out. I should find these people, get them to pay me money for this free advertising. Although Taddy Porter gets their advertising definitely for free. Shout out to them. And now I can breathe. So, if you've been looking at myexaminer.com column, you may have noticed that lately I've kind of started writing things in a more elaborate and deeper spiritual tone. And I'm still kind of trying to find my way with that, because the reason why I started doing these videos and started doing these articles is, I want to make, help improve everybody's life and make things a little bit easier and help things just make sense for you. But a big part of my message is a spiritual message to help try and reconnect people with their creator, to reconnect people with God. Because unfortunately, most of the stuff that you hear these days that's about religion or spirituality is really about things that are driving us apart rather than things that are trying to bring us together. So knowing that that's what I wanted to do all along, and that that's what I want to do ultimately, it kind of occurred to me that maybe I should be doing it. This is something that I shared in my blog, if you read my blog, and it posts up on which is blog.peacelovemoney.com, and it also posts on my Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/bdavewalters. That the reason why it came to me in my meditation that the time that I'm waiting for, the someday that I'm waiting for, you're like, one day I'm going to do this, someday I'm going to do this. Well, someday is today. One day is today. Today is yesterday's tomorrow, okay? There's no point in waiting. This mythical time when everything's going to be perfect or conditions are going to be ideal for you to do something is not coming. It's never going to happen. So you've got to get out and start moving with what you want right now. And so by extension, I'm pushing forward doing the thing that I ultimately want to do right now. So of course I welcome your feedback on this. The hard part, and bear with me for a second here, I'm kind of a thinker, right? That's primarily how I make my way through the world, is I think things through. I think things through logically, I break them down into pieces, and then I put them back together again. That's how I interpret the world. I'm auditory digital, if you remember from our personality styles video we did. I'm like a Vulcan, basically. If you want to communicate with me, tell me the logic and rationale behind something, and that's what makes sense to me. But I realize that's not everybody. And while I think it's fascinating that there's all these parallels between Jesus Christ and Socrates, and I think it's fascinating that Jesus Christ grew up in an environment where he would have been exposed to Cynic and Stoic Greek philosophy, and that might have influenced his early teaching, I realize that most people probably don't care. Hey, wake up. I don't mean to put you to sleep. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? So, what my talent is, what I'm good at, is synthesizing things. I'm good at taking all that hyper-intellectual gobbledygook and kind of like processing it and distilling it down to a way that everybody can understand. And it's not that you aren't smart enough to understand this. It's not that anybody's not smart enough to understand this. It's just that's not what most people's interest is in. And if you use words that are too big, it puts most people to sleep. So I'm good at taking big words, making them into little words. Take big ideas, make them into little ideas. So that's what I got to do. That's what I got to focus on. That's what I got to stay with. And that's what it is that I'm doing now, going forward with the articles and really even going forward with these videos. At least in the future. I don't know if I'm doing that right now because, like I said, I'm just kind of talking to you right now. So let me go back for a second to that idea about the fact that today is yesterday's tomorrow. Where are you with your goals? Where are you on the things that you want to accomplish and the changes that you want to make? Because something that was really bugging me about a week to 10 days ago that I'm actually kind of okay with right now is I know a lot of people that I've met through various, websites and Facebook and MySpace and just out in the world and meeting people of a spiritual slant. And I realize there's people that I've known for months, there's people that I've known for years that are fundamentally in the same place that they always were. And they're always quoting scripture, quoting things from The Secret, or putting up, positive thinking, little bits and sound bites and everything, but when it comes down to it, they don't actually apply it in their lives. Their lives are, quite frankly, kind of wrecks. Some people's lives are wrecks, some people's lives just don't work, some people's lives work but not as well as they could. Although arguably everybody's life doesn't work as well as it could. So, where do you fall in there? Are you a talker or are you a doer? And I can give you an idea if you're not sure. Look around you right now. You can literally look around you if you like, or you can just look at your life and look at the things that you don't like. And ask yourself, how long have those things that you don't like been that way? And what did you do today to change those things? And what else are you going to do today to change those things? Because here's the thing. Now is the time of all power. Okay? It's like the power of now. It's true. The right now is the only moment you will ever have to enact meaningful change. Now is all you've ever got. The past is gone. The future hadn't gotten here yet. The present moment is the only thing that exists. Okay? I've been drawing quite a bit on Buddhist philosophy in a lot of my writings and in a lot of the things I do. And then I was, in fact, initiated in a Buddhist tradition, strand of Buddhism out of Thailand, actually. And one of the huge aspects of Buddhism that's so important, and actually was a neat thing I just learned that I'm going to talk about in part 2, is about focus on the present moment. Okay? Part of the fact where pain comes from in our lives is the fact that our mind goes into the future, that it goes into the past, and that it's anywhere other than where you are right now. So make sure you cultivate this habit of keeping your mind right here, focused right now, where you are, okay? It's okay to set some time apart consciously to do a little bit of planning. You need to do that. You need to have an idea of where you're going. But you need to keep your consciousness and your vision rooted in the present and always struggle to be focused on the present moment. I'm going to split this up for my brothers and sisters on YouTube, which I don't even think I posted the last few on YouTube, so I got to go back and do that. For everybody else, stay with me. We're going to keep going. Hang on.